Nowadays, everyone tells me I'm naturally lean, but it's not true. In fact, I've been overweight with man boobs ever since I was 11. The happiest day of my life was when I found out that it wasn't my fault. I'm going to tell you my story because I'll bet you can relate to it. It doesn't matter how young or old you are or how big or small your man boobs are. Anyone who struggles with any form of man boobs will know what I'm talking about. And I will do more than just tell you my story. If you watch this video to the end, it won't be online for long. I will give you the solution I discovered to get rid of my man boobs and keep them off for good. Remember though, this video won't be up for long, so watch it now while you can. If you're like most guys, you've probably been racking your brains over this for years, or decades like me. Why do you not have a flat, masculine chest, even though it's your birthright as a man? I remember the first time I had to take my shirt off in public. I was in the 7th grade. We were in the locker room after football practice. Everyone had taken off their shirts before they'd entered the locker room. Everyone except me. Man boobs were rare back in the day, and I was the only one who had them. All the other guys had perfectly flat chests. Heck, even the fat guys had flat chests. Unfortunately, the guys had already seen my man boobs bouncing up and down on the field. It wasn't long before one of the guys, Pete, whose name I'll never forget, came up to me and started teasing me about my bitch tits. And soon enough, I was the laughingstock of the locker room. The kids at my school never took me seriously again. That day, I wanted to go home and do 1,000 push-ups. And you know what? I did, and I was so sore the next day that I couldn't go to school. But the real truth was that I was too embarrassed. For the next 30 years, I lived a life of misery. Maybe some of the following points sound familiar to you. I spent my summers indoors, so nobody would have to see me in a t-shirt. I avoided going to the beach while everyone else was out there having the time of their lives. I hardly ever went out because I lacked self-esteem. I was rejected time and time again by girls because they just didn't see me that way. They couldn't picture being with a guy with man boobs. And who could blame them? Thankfully, I'm not a guy who quits easy. For almost 30 years, I tried everything under the sun. I tried every different type of exercise you can think of. Weight training, powerlifting, cardio, Pilates, boxing, kickboxing, yoga. Do you want me to go on? I also tried every diet that was out there. In those years of mastering the art of diet and exercise, I mastered the art of losing weight. But the trouble was that when I lost weight, my man boobs were still there. So I decided to try taking pills and supplements. Being as crazy as I am, I tried every pill that offered any theoretical possibility of getting rid of man boobs. Even some that weren't strictly legal. I actually tried so many pills that I started to suffer from heart problems in my late 20s. Eventually, at 35, I managed to save up enough money for surgery. And you know what? The results weren't that great. My man boobs were a little smaller, but they were still there. My doctor told me it was post-surgical swelling. He told me it would go away in a few weeks, and yeah, you guessed it, it never did. 5 years after my surgery, I still had man boobs. On my 40th birthday, I decided to throw in the towel. I decided to give up. And you know what? That was the best thing I ever did. Now at 41, I'm a different person. I sport a trim, firm chest and a great set of abs as a bonus. I no longer have puffy nipples, and I am eager to take my shirt off in the sun, at the beach, or at the pool. So what happened after my 40th birthday? Well, I'll tell you what happened after I tell you what I did. I embraced the truth, the one truth that nobody will tell you about getting rid of man boobs. It'll blow your mind. The best exercise for losing man boobs is no chest exercise. Now, this may come as a surprise to you. There is a time and place for chest exercises done correctly, of course. But I saw my chest flatten out long before I did a single push-up or bench press, before I ever even thought about working my chest. Here's why this is the truth. If you focus too much on directly training your chest, you're just going to build the muscles underneath your man boobs. Now, that's great if you want bigger man boobs, but that's not what most of us want. Not only that, but direct chest exercises can push your body into a state of overtraining. When this happens, your body starts to really hold on to those man boobs. It feels worn out and makes you not want to work out. It can even increase your cravings for fattening, sugary foods. Now, maybe you've tried doing chest exercises, only to stop a few days or a few weeks later. I don't know, perhaps you tried some other methods that didn't quite work out for you. What I do know is that there's a better way to get the job done, and it's amazingly fast. Before I tell you, let me tell you another quick 30-second story about how some extra attention from women, once you have a flat masculine chest, can really boost your confidence. I was at a salsa bar a couple of weeks ago with 3 of my old school buddies. Like most guys in their 40s, these guys were pretty out of shape. And at one point, we started talking to a group of hot young ladies. We were joking around with them, just having a good time, and out of nowhere, the hottest girl in the group comes up to me and says in a flirtatious voice, "Hey, you look like you've got an amazing body. I want to check it out." And then she just pulls up my t-shirt and starts running her hands over my chest. This made some of the other girls come over too. And for the first time in my life, I was the center of the party. And despite being a humble person, boy, did it feel good. And my college buddies, they were totally embarrassed because they didn't have what I did. In fact, 2 of them had man boobs, and the other had a huge belly hanging over his belt. Now, please don't get me wrong. I'm not boasting here. This doesn't happen to me all the time. But I can guarantee you from personal experience, you'll get a lot more attention from the ladies when you're sporting a broad, flat, masculine chest. In fact, in several recent surveys, women voted the chest as being the most appealing part of a man's body. They even voted the chest sexier than biceps or abs. Okay. So we've already mentioned how direct chest exercises can be one of the biggest time wasters, actually one of the least effective ways for getting rid of man boobs and getting that perfectly flat chest. So bear with me for a moment as I share with you 3 more powerful keys to getting the flat chest you want. Here they are. Number 1, exercising long and hard is not the key. It might help you to lose weight, but when it comes to losing man boobs, you need something more. I know a couple of guys with man boobs who can do over 1,000 push-ups all in one go. That's right, 1,000. Have you tried doing just 100? Most people can't do more than 20, so 1,000 push-ups is intense. But despite that, these guys still have their man boobs. Guys with man boobs do some crazy things. I know 4 guys that started competing in marathons to get rid of their man boobs, and 2 that became seasoned triathletes. And you know what? Reaching the pinnacle of fitness by competing in marathons and triathlons helped these guys to lose weight, but did not help them to lose their man boobs. If you want to lose your man boobs, it's crucial that you know that exercising long and hard is just not enough. The secret lies in exercising smart. It's about doing the right type of exercise, the type that signals your body to actively reduce the size of your breasts. And the good news is you don't have to do hours of boring cardio 3 or more days a week. In fact, you don't ever have to work out for longer than a few minutes at a time. Yeah, I know, it sounds like another gimmick, but I promise you it's not. These exercises stimulate the body's hormonal system, so your man boobs shrink, and you burn fat for the entire day after your workout. And don't worry, I'm going to give you the chance to access these unique workouts in just a couple of minutes from now. As a bonus, these exercises won't just help you lose your man boobs, they'll also help you to lose weight and get a killer body. Just to illustrate, I was at a beach wedding last summer. One of the guests, a guy, came up to me and said, "I run marathons, but you've got a better body than me. What's your secret?" You know what I told him? Stop running marathons. Number 2, there's more to losing man boobs than just weight loss. There's more to it than just cutting calories, eating healthy,